hello, hello. I'm not sure if yes, I am. There we go. Okay. Wait. We're starting in a minute, by the way. In the meantime, please put your phones off. No phones with sounds, please, including mine. Yes, thank you. I'm going to put mine in silence too, by the way. So thank you. There we go. Off. Not off, but in silence. I think I'm close enough. So 1 minute and we start. 1 minute. I'm sorry we have a little delay. There is a crew working backstage. By the way, you can't see them, but Sir Israel, Sir Rene are working backstage with Sir Sebastian. So just wait a couple more minutes. Sorry. escuchando? Am I? There we go. I think so now. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, thank you. There we go. So first of all, we had a little bit of a delay because we have a crew backstage who are working, because this is going to be mainstream via our YouTube channel. So it's going to be uploaded then. You can watch it later if you want to. And we have Sir Álvaro, Sir Israel, Sir René, and Sir Sebastián working backstage. So let's give them a round of applause for them too. Thank you. Thank you. So, dear parents, teachers, and students, Sir Ricardo Ponce, President of the Kingston College Corporation, Ms. Jenny Lillo, Primary School Academic Coordinator, Sir Christian Salas, Secondary School Academic Coordinator, and we would also like to extend a special good morning to Ms. Marisol Hernandez, Headmaster of Kingston College, who could not join us today for personal reasons. So good morning and welcome. We're gathered here today to continue with activities of the English Week Now, Part 2. So now, before we start, Sir Ricardo Ponce is going to come to the stage to say some words. So let's give a big round of applause to Sir Ricardo Ponce. Let's go.
Sorry, I don't speak English. Buenos días. Bonjour. Buongiorno. Guten Morgen. Good morning. Muy buenos días a todas y todos los alumnos de los distintos niveles de este colegio. Para mí es una gran alegría estar aquí esta mañana en este evento, en lo que es la Semana del Inglés, ya tan tradicional en nuestro colegio. Me produce un gran orgullo estar aquí. Ustedes saben, o muchos, algunos, yo estoy en este colegio. Y la verdad que a veces me da mucho miedo hablar en inglés, porque tengo 3 hijas salidos de este colegio, mi hijo todavía aquí, y la verdad que cuando hablo, o trato de hablar, me destruyen. Pero me corrigen a cada rato, así que tengo ese miedo escénico que todavía puedo en algo hacer cuando uno viaja, por lo menos para pedir una Coke y una hamburguesa. No, pero a veces un poquito más. Y sobre eso quiero una anécdota. Si no es por el último viaje que hice, se me ocurrió invitar a mi hija, también alumna acá, Catalina, y llegando al aeropuerto en Miami, algo pasa con mi pasaporte y para adentro. Me sentía como en aeropuerto, así como esa... Y si no es por mi hija, que está como media hora ahí tratando de, porque ahí ya uno se pone, si ya le cuesta, uno se pone más que nervioso cuando está en eso. Y si no es por ella, después de media hora se solucionó el problema y al final casi me fluyó el inglés solo para decirle thank you al señor que me estaba atendiendo. Quiero decir con esto que la verdad, claramente hoy día el mundo que tenemos, multicultural, globalizado, el tener las herramientas del lenguaje, de los idiomas, es tremendamente importante. Uno se desenvuelve, ustedes van a recorrer el mundo ciertamente, Francia, Italia, Alemania, y el inglés sabemos que es el base porque a donde vayamos, a los franceses no les gusta mucho, ¿sí? Prefieren el español. Esta herramienta es tremendamente importante y el colegio, a pesar de que no tiene una tremenda carga en inglés, siento que la verdad cumplimos con el anhelo que todos los papás también tenemos cuando incorporamos a nuestros hijos. Aquí saludo, digamos, a algunos papás presentes también, que es que cuenten con esta herramienta. Les sale natural, tenemos profesores muy exigentes, ni quiere que le diga a Héctor acá, que habla todo en inglés. Y eso en realidad yo creo que es uno de los objetivos del colegio. El que ustedes tengan esta herramienta que créanme, le van a ayudar mucho. Lo segundo que quiero decirles es que como ya están tan bien avanzados, este año todos nos atrevimos a más. Nosotros cuando me preguntaron la rectora si podíamos qué niveles y qué pruebas hacer, nosotros dijimos vamos a las que más. Si los niveles están en eso, para aprobarse. Y ustedes, los que van a ser certificados hoy día, aceptaron el reto y se pusieron ahí en los distintos niveles para dar la prueba. No lo sé yo tampoco al igual con ustedes, pero quiero asumir, y tengo absoluta certeza, que todos cumplieron con el nivel de la propia expectativa que tenían y certificaron. Por lo tanto, a los certificados especiales, felicitaciones. A los que vienen en la fila de ahí atrás, que son los que en los próximos años les va a tocar esto, adelante, sigan practicando. Que esto sea muy natural en el colegio, que en realidad respondamos a nuestro nombre. En realidad este Kingston College, este colegio de reyes y reinas, en ese tiempo no existía el género, ahí estábamos, este colegio de reyes y reinas, en realidad lo tome y lo haga suyo también como segundo idioma. Todos los que están aquí, yo sé que de una u otra forma están en el inglés y eso me produce mucha alegría. Nada más que decirles felicitaciones a los certificados y a los que vienen, el gran desafío que les toca, porque yo sé que van a cumplir y van a llegar muy lejos en este segundo idioma. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much for your words, Ricardo. And you guys, just so you know, if we are a little bit late, we're going to use some time of the break, so we stay here until we announce the winners. We're going to fix that later if you want more break or not, okay? So, as Ricardo said, now before we start a TED Talk competition, we would like to take a very special moment to recognize and celebrate our students who some time ago successfully took part in the Cambridge International Exams, PET and FCE. And that also shows the hard work of our English team, here teachers, and obviously our students' work. So let's welcome now Sir Alexis Alvial to the stage. Please, a big round of applause to him.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Before we invite our students on stage, let me mention that these internationally recognized exams represent an important achievement in our students' academic and personal growth. Receiving these certificates is proof of their effort, discipline, and love for learning English, and we are very happy and proud to see your faces today. Okay. Let me remind you, déjenme recordarles un poquito qué niveles, y como decía Sir Ricardo Ponce, este año fue especial. La generación 2025 subió un nivel que es lo que queríamos lograr, ¿cierto? Años anteriores el nivel objetivo era B1, intermedio, y este año quisimos B2. Es la primera generación, entonces, que este año se certifica con el examen FCE. Puede ser, como se ve ahí en la imagen, un escalón chiquitito, pero en realidad ese escalón es gigantesco, ¿ya? Pero también estamos muy contentos porque no solamente estudiantes llegaron al nivel B2, sino que algunos se certifican hoy en nivel C1. Así que un aplauso también para todos los estudiantes que lograron ese nivel. Okay, back to English. As mentioned earlier, Miss Marisol could not be here with us today, but she has sent a heartfelt video message for our students who earned their certification. Let's take a moment to watch the video, please.
Buenos días, queridos estudiantes. Me encuentro en la ciudad de Santiago. Sin embargo, no quería dejar pasar esta gran posibilidad de saludar, felicitarles y decirles que nos sentimos muy orgullosos de este logro alcanzado. Obtener una certificación internacional en idioma de inglés sin duda es un hito muy importante en su formación académica, pero además es una gran herramienta para su desarrollo en educación superior, su futuro laboral y también personal. Quisiera agradecer de manera especial a los docentes que acompañaron en este proceso. Ellos hoy día con orgullo y con gran satisfacción ven el tremendo desempeño alcanzado por cada uno de ustedes. Sin duda, esta meta, esta certificación, es una muestra más de lo que ustedes son capaces de ser. Sin duda viene otra meta, otra gran meta, y estamos convencidos de que la lograrán, porque están acompañados de sus familias, de nosotros y sobre todo de la tremenda fuerza que hay en ustedes. Felicitaciones, un beso a todos.
Okay, now it's the time to see our students. Let us now invite them to the stage, starting with those who achieved the B1 preliminary level. Please come to the stage, Fernando Ismael Concha Pablaza, Cristóbal Andrés Mellado Ortega, Nicolás Alberto Neira Cruz, Magdalena Sofía Gutiérrez Villablanca, Javiera Isidora López Seguel, Katia Sofía Simunovich Vázquez, Beatriz Emilia Meneses Millán, Francisca Carolina Bello Huerta, Josefa Antonia Enríquez Troncoso, Vicente Antonio Soto Burgos, Sofía Ignacia Castro Muñoz. Please come to the stage. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the students who successfully achieved the B2 level. Sofía Leonor Riquelme Vega, Camila Antonia Bobadilla Larrondo, Fernando Toledo Muñoz, Agustina Ignacia Larcón Vergara, Francisco Antonio Muñoz Rubio, Daniel Alberto Miranda Palma, Martín Esteban Poblete González, Vic Ampuero Ganga, Ámbar Anaís Molina Medel, Lucas Ricardo Andrés Ponce Morán. Okay. Finally, with great pride, we congratulate our students who reached the C1 level. Alfonso Enrique Venegas Fuentealba, Antonia Paz Llanos Julián, Javier Octavio Mayén Muñoz, Valeria Ainara Valecillos Mota, Fernanda Javiera Guzmán Otarola. Un gran aplauso entonces para nuestros estudiantes que obtuvieron el nivel C1. Estamos muy orgullosos de ustedes, chicos. Thank you very much.
So, as you know, English is the language of globalization, the language of science, and for us, the language of opportunities. At Kingston College, we take great pride in guiding students to experience the beauty and the power that comes with mastering different languages. Today, we're especially proud to host our second TED Talk competition, an international style event where students present ideas worth spreading, ideas that inspire, motivate, and challenge us to see the world from a new perspective. As part of their English evaluation, every 10th grade student participates in the TED Talk project. This morning, we will enjoy the very best presentations from those who bravely chose to share their voices on stage. We'll hear from 8 of our students, each with between 3.5 and 7 minutes to present a topic that inspires, motivates, or simply captivates them. I am confident they will surprise us, challenge us, and make us think and reflect. Let's welcome from second grade A the following students: Leonor Bello, Isidora Oliveros, Emilia Pinuer, and Joaquín de la Fuente. Let's give them a round of applause. Representing second grade B, Camilo Justi, Beatriz Fuentealba, Martina Pincheira, and Matías Carrasco. An applause to them. To evaluate today's presentations, we are honored to welcome some distinguished guests of great importance to our department. Please join me in welcoming Patricia Osorio, Census Exam Manager of Cambridge English. Thank you for coming today. Dr. Juan Molina Farfán, Professor at Universidad Católica de la Santísima Concepción. Thank you for joining us today. And, of course, Ms. Fernanda Arriagada, Spanish teacher with extensive experience in TED Talks and English. Let's give her as well a big round of applause. And now, without further ado, let us begin with our first presentation. Our opening speaker today is Camilo Justi from second grade B. Please join me in giving him a big round of applause to Camilo.
Have you ever found yourself wanting so badly to be more? I'm sorry. All right. Isaac. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue with Camilo Justi now. So please, everyone, in silence. Thank you.
Tell me, sir. Have you ever Have you ever found yourself wanting so badly to be more, to perform more? Raise your hand those who sense to have a high demand on yourselves. Right. Now raise your hand those who know somebody who has a high demand on themselves. Well, as you can see, it's actually quite a common thing to feel, especially after a competition, a tournament, or more in general, after putting so many hours and so many effort into something that, at the end, sometimes didn't turn out the way you wanted it to be. Here, my friends, it's when stress joins the game. Hello, my name is Camille Justi, and personally, I can relate to this subject more than I'd like to admit, for better or for worse. In fact, if I hadn't put some limits on how much stress could I put on my shoulders, probably at some point I wouldn't have been able to handle it anymore. Stress, it's a tool, not conscious of itself. It's up to us whether we use it the wrong or the right way. So, as I just said, stress and self-demand and high demand and all these things aren't necessarily good or evil, yes. But according to the Aaron Quest Psychological Clinic, a destructive self-demand comes into play when you don't just start to criticize yourself a lot, but also when you take as personal value only your achievements and absolutely nothing else. The consequences of these two things combined is that not only you start to feel a lot of dissatisfaction, but also you start to develop a lot of stress towards your future. And personally, I don't think that's the point after putting so much of yourself into something, is it? So, how could we draw this line between a healthy and a toxic self-demand? Well, what if perhaps all this stress we make became fuel without burning ourselves in the process? Because you see, and here's a little plot twist, stress isn't meant to be the villain of the story all the time. Biologically talking, stress appears as a need of the body when we need that extra energy, that extra push. And in that moments of necessity, that special occasions, well, as you can see, the role of stress is mostly up to the circumstances and up to us. What if instead of letting it pile up and weigh us down, we turn all that energy into momentum? Not by working more hours, not by pushing ourselves to the edge, but by working smarter and also by using some techniques that let you breathe and take all that stress out instead of letting it get inside you and grow up. Some techniques, by the way, that are given by the Valladolid Psychological Center and can help you precisely for this matter. And now I'm going to share with you a couple of them. First, if you have one massive task, divide it into smaller parts. Like I said before, stress is meant for special occasions and not long periods. So, for example, if you have a tough week full of exams, you'll probably get easily overwhelmed if you start to study 3 subjects at the same time. If instead you study one by one, then your brain will be focusing only on the current task, not the whole matter. The result? Well, first, stress costs you less energy, and second, each time you finish one of these mini goals, you'll have a high sense of relief, and also you gain more confidence. Now on the other hand, sometimes a friend, a teacher, or even a good colleague can help you to notice the small little details one doesn't even consider most of the time. I have a couple of examples, because you see, when they can cheer you up or help you to slow down, you can have those moments to stop and breathe. If you don't stop sometimes, stress overwhelms you, my friends. I assure you that. I think most of you have seen Star Wars, I hope. So, if Yoda hadn't trained Luke, for example, Luke Skywalker, it would have been a completely different story. Guidance and support matter, Even for heroes, there's nothing wrong with asking for help sometimes. And now, as we are reaching the end, I'd like to say a last message for you to keep in mind. So here we go. If you know somebody who may be too tough with themselves, you actually have a pretty good chance to help them to reach this stage, this final goal they want, without hurting themselves in the process. A small gesture, trust me, does make the difference. And for that person, you can be the difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Camilo. Thank you, Camilo, for this interesting presentation of Celtic Mountain. Very well done. So now let's invite Matias Carrasco from second grade B as well to the stage. Let's give him a warm welcome. It's not working. So, no, let's start now.
How much more of our ocean must we destroy before we realize the damage is irreversible? Well, if all the water on Earth became polluted, our life will change completely. Clean drinking water will become very valuable. Can you believe that? The water used to have minerals, not as has antibiotics or caffeine, and even traces of antidepressants. The river literally lifts your spirits, but not in the way it should. I used to go to Penco Beach almost every weekend. It was part of my life. But one day what I saw truly shocked me. Plastic everywhere, and everything was contaminated. And you might ask, why is this so important? Well, if this continues, aquatic life as we know will collapse. Entire species could disappear, and eventually this will come back to us. I know this history can be repeated in many of you, but this is not just a problem for environmentalists or about beach days or ocean views. This is a global problem that will affect everyone here. But let's imagine a different path. What if people take care more about a long-term impact than short-term profit? Our oceans would be thriving and our beaches would be clean again. And also, what if corporations prioritize their sustainability? They will reduce their carbon emission and their plastic production, and also their water waste. And this is where I wish I had a superpower, the superpower to change minds, to help people and corporations to see the consequences that their choices, and also to inspire changes. But unfortunately, this is just fiction. And what we can do now? Well, we can start by taking responsibility of our waste and reduce our plastic uses. It's easy to feel powerless, but even small actions multiplied by millions could mean a big change. And something that I want to also emphasize is, what if we can act a decade ago when the signs were clear, or where the scientists were already warning us? Nothing of this maybe wouldn't be happened, but it's not too late, not yet. The ocean has always given us life. It's time to get something back. Well, my name is Matias Carrasco, and thanks for your attention.
Okay. Thank you, Matthias, for your very insightful topic. Well done, good job. And now we will welcome Joaquin de la Fuente from 2nd grade A. Let's hear it for Joaquin, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Joaquin and I'm going to talk about the plastic. You see that image, and this is a beautiful ocean, right? Well, that is I generated, because this is an average ocean today, covered in plastic and dirt, and that is our fault. A short story is, last Sunday my family and I went to the beach. Looking at the place, there were loads of papers and plastic. We were trying to find a place to sit, but the contamination of plastic and the trash, the smell was so bad that we had to go. If plastic enters the ocean, it can harm marine life. The plastic, it can harm marine life. When people see dirty places like beaches, they leave, they usually leave. So, all of us, we need to fight against the plastic contamination. A study made by Haley Charlton Howard talked about a new disease called plasticosis. That's a new disease to the seabirds, that his only cause is eating plastic. And that is very important, because that is our fault for contamination in the ocean. Contamination in the oceans. So if I will have a superpower, it will be controlling the plastic. So I will be able to, all the plastic in the oceans and microplastic, get it away and recycle them. But we all know that superpowers don't exist. So it's in our hands to stop the plastic pollution and help our planet to recover. There's something very similar to that superpower that anyone can do, and that is called recycling. All we need to do is not throw the plastic away and give it a second use. Let me ask all of you a question. When you use a plastic or plastic bottle, do you recycle it or you just throw it away? If we had the superpower to clean the oceans, the problem will be solved in minutes. But we know that superpowers don't exist. So we have to stop the plastic pollution right now before we run out of time, and that will be soon. I think that, for example, if the people that went to the beach that day, all of them started recycling years ago, we will have a much cleaner beach today, and we all will be able to enjoy the beauty of the oceans today. Or if they were more signs or plastic recycling places, the oceans and the environment wouldn't be so heavily polluted. Another way to recycle that is getting more popular these days is something that is called wood plastic composite. And that is a material that his goal is to replace the wood. But they reuse the plastic and stop the deforestation. So I think that was very genius because you can stop the plastic pollution and avoid chopping down trees. Saving our planet, billions of sea creatures' lives, and even our lives from helping recover our planet for all the damage that we made to the ecosystem and all the oceans. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Joaquin, for your insightful topic on protecting our planet. Very good. We will welcome now Emilia Pinuer from 2nd grade A. Let's give her a big round of applause. Emilia. So, Sebastian is going to be there. You're making signs to him, okay? With your hands. You look at him. Okay, so let's go back to Emilia now, and we're going to have a break, but when the bell rings, we are going to have, so Alex is going to give some information for you now. So, okay, en Spanish nos vamos a extender un poco, chicos, por el horario. El timbre va a sonar, pero cuando terminemos esto vamos a tener un break de 10 minutos de todas formas, así que todos van a tener su recreo habitual, ¿ok? Thank you. Let's continue now with Emilia, please.
What are they going to say? How many of you have heard that little voice in your head whenever you're trying to post a picture on social media or even put on an outfit that you like? Maybe you even put the clothes back in your closet because you start thinking, are they going to make fun of me? Are they going to judge me? If we think like that every single time, we will never feel free to be ourselves. This has happened to me many times because we live in a world that is always asking us to follow the normal way, to fit in. Honestly, it's exhausting because we are constantly physically waiting for them to judge us. Just to compare us as to follow their expectations. So, if it makes us feel bad, why do we care so much? This is something that a lot of people, especially teenagers, experience every day. When they're going to school, when they are with their family, or even when they're going down the street. A study made in 2009 from Michigan University says that relying on other people's opinions can really hurt our confidence. If people were more focused on themselves instead of judging other people, the world would be much more of a kinder place. And if I had ignored those comments in the past, I would feel much more better, and I have enjoy way more those moments in the past. Now, imagine if we had a superpower that can make us feel confident and enough just the way we are. If everyone had that superpower, they will feel more authentic and free to live the way they actually want to live, not relying on other people's thoughts. So we can start by projecting self-care. Instead of judging ourselves, we can start thinking, would I say this to my best friend if he was going through this? If the answer is no, then you're worrying too much. You should start thinking that way the same about yourself. There is a study from Boston University that says that breathing can really help us to calm down our anxiety and manage way better those moments when you are going through a lot of stress. I want you to think about next week. When you're going through a moment that you start thinking, are they going to judge me? I want you to start breathing, because breathing can really help with anxiety. You're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold in, and breathe out for another 4 seconds. If you only paid attention to your own emotions and your own growth instead of judging other people, you will feel way more calm and lighter about yourself too. And if I had believed in myself earlier, I would have seen how capable and enough I have actually always been. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emilia, for your tips for all of us who go through anxiety and stress. Very powerful topic. And now we will welcome Isidora Oliveros from Second with a warm welcome, please. You make signs to him if you want, so he can change the slides, okay? Let's try now, okay?
Have you ever felt that you need to get a good grade, but only because you told yourself that you must?
Let's see if this one is working. Yes, can you hear me now? Okay, let's use this one then. Sorry, drawbacks.
Have you ever felt that you need to get a good grade only because you told yourself that you must get that grade? Well, that's called self-demand, and it's a problem that affects most students. According to Newport Academy, a therapeutic center for adolescents said that between 25 and 30% of adolescents suffer from perfectionism or self-demanding, which are not loud figures. In fact, if you push yourself too much, you feel stressed, but if you practice self-kindness, you feel calmer. My name is Isidora, and you could say that I suffer from self-demand. Since I was very young, I always worked hard and got very good grades, but as the years went by, my grades lowered, even if it wasn't by much. This made me realize that if I keep comparing myself to others, I will never feel satisfied. On the other hand, if I start focus in progress instead of perfection, I will feel much more confident. And that's why in this talk, I will introduce you the difference between self-demand and self-kindness. Self-demand is the tendency to set high standards or expectations for oneself. often striving for perfection or excellence in various aspects of life. While it can be motivating force for achievement, excessive self-demand can also lead to stress, anxiety, or a lack of self-acceptance. It's important to recognize this behavior because it can harm mental health. It affects people in various aspects of life, especially students and professionals under pressure to succeed. According to Juan Pablo Muñoz, a psychologist, self-demand can occur in two ways. One is from perfectionism, and the other is for search the excellence. If I had a superpower to face this problem, I choose self-kindness. It means being nice to yourself, especially when things go wrong. It helps you to feel less pressure and lower stress. Looking back, if I were more kinder to myself I would more kinder to myself. Sorry. I will enjoy learning more, and if I had more patience with myself, I will face challenges with less fear. I also know that if I had practice of kindness during my hardest years, I will have avoided a lot of stress. And if I had asked for help earlier, I will have learned healthy ways to manage pressure. And the best part of this self-kindness is something you can actually have in real life, but it's so hard to have it. I would like to ask you a question to reflect on. What is going to be the next step you take this week to treat you more kindly? Finally, always keep this in mind. Push yourself, but don't forget to be yourself. Growth needs effort, not perfection. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Isidora, on your topic of being very kind to ourselves too. So now, let's invite Beatriz Fuente Alba from 2nd grade B to the stage. Let's cheer for Beatriz too.
Imagine if you could hear a dog say, "Please don't leave me," or a cat whisper, "I'm cold and scared." Will you still ignore them? When people see an abandoned animal, they usually feel sad. My name is Beatriz, and I always loved animals, ever since I was little. I believe they have feelings just like we do, but sadly, they can't speak our language. And because of that, many people choose to ignore their pain. When people abandon animals, they suffer and feel lonely. This silence has a cost. Every year, millions of animals are abandoned. The World Health Organization estimates that over 200 million of animals live around the world today. Behind each number is a life. A living being will feel sadness, fear, and love. And when we abandon them, we are not just leaving an animal behind. We are breaking a bond and showing how disconnected humans can be from the lives they once promised to care for. If people had listened to those animals before, many would have been abandoned. Now, imagine if you could hear animals' thoughts in words. If we could hear the fear in their voices, the loneliness on their hearts, would that change everything? I believe it will create empathy, stop abandonment, and remind us to treat animals with the love and respect they deserve. If more people adopt from shelters, many animals will be found a loving home. So, what can we do? If everyone cares about animal feelings, we will see fewer animals living in the streets. We're gonna speak up when we see animal abuse or neglect, because silence allows cruelty to continue. Think about this. Have you ever seen a stray animal and walked away? What will you do if you knew exactly what it was a stray animal feeling? If we had known exactly what the stray animal was feeling, we would have walked away. Animals may not be able to speak, but we can. And if we choose to be their voice, we can make sure no animal is ever left behind again. Thanks.
Thank you, Beatrice, on your topic of taking care and thinking about animals. So now let's invite to the stage Martina Pincheira from 2nd grade B. So let's give her a big round of applause.
Have you ever said no to something just because you were afraid? If people never step out of their comfort zone, they will miss countless opportunities for growth and joy. Personally, I used to say no to many things just because I was scared of failing or being judged. But one day, I realized that trying new things helps us grow, even if we're afraid. If I had kept saying no to everything, I will miss many opportunities. Many people are afraid to step out of their comfort zone because they think things like, what if I fail? Or what people are going to think of me? This fear stops them from learning new things or living great experiences. If I have kept saying no to everything, I will miss many great opportunities. This affects kids, teenagers, and even adults, but you have to realize that if we avoid a no, we stay in the same place. My superpower will be fear switch. It can transform fear into excitement and confidence. And with this power, people will explore more. If I had this power for real, I will use it every single day to help others. The moment someone feels afraid to try something, the switch activates and the person feels a spark of curiosity instead. One action we can take is to say yes at least once a week to something we never done before, like trying a new food, a sport, or talking to someone new. If you say yes, you will open the door to more opportunities. Another action is to stay positive. When you feel nervous about trying something, tell yourself positive things like, this is a chance to grow. If you keep a positive mindset, you will turn fear into motivation. Think about a time when you say no just because you were scared. Now imagine what could have happened if you say yes instead. If you say yes, you get more adventures. Now think, what's one new thing you could try this week? Something small but new. Keep it in your mind and maybe give yourselves the chance to actually do it. If I have never taken that first step out of my comfort zone, I wouldn't have discovered my love for new experiences. Finally, don't let fear decide for you. Let curiosity lead the way. The next time you feel nervous about trying something, try it. That's how we discover who we really are. In conclusion, you have to remember, every yes is a chance to grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Martina. On your topic about saying yes to some opportunities that can lead us to success. And that leads us to our very final presentation of the day. So let's invite to the stage Leonor Bello from second grade A. So let's give her a big round of applause, everyone.
You've probably heard that excessive screen use can be bad for your brain. It's not a new topic. But do you really know how it affects your mental health and your life? Who hasn't had that one person who constantly reminds you to stop using your phone so much? And yet, you still don't listen, simply because it's annoying when someone tells you what to do. If you had followed their advice, you would have made the right choice. Because sadly, I'm here to remind you that person was most likely right. The excessive screen use is a problem that affects a lot of people all around the world, mostly young people around your age. A study made by We Are Social, a global creative agency, and Hootsuite, a social media management platform, says that the average user spends more than 5 hours a day on their cell phone. That's concerning, considering that studies made in Canada and China show that if young people use the phone more than 2 hours a day, they can suffer negative effects. Okay, but what kind of negative effects can that have on us? If you don't believe me, there is another study made in China and published in the journal Psychiatry Research that proves that if you use screens excessively, you can suffer a range of problems such as sleep problems, higher levels of stress and anxiety, and an addiction to the electronic device. So, if you are going through any of those problems, you should start worrying about your screen use. As you can see, this is a complex problem, mainly because people don't realize how serious the issue is. It's very normalized to be online all day, whether on social media or playing video games. It's kind of sad. If I had a superpower, I'd like to be someone who, every time they see a person, makes them become aware of their screen use. If I were that person, I'd help anyone who needed my help. Unfortunately, I don't have that superpower. I wish I did. I would even need it myself because I'm part of the problem too. But if you want to change your life, you need to change your habits, and I can help you with it. The psychologist Kimberly Young of San Bonaventure University recommends cognitive behavioral therapy, which is based on identifying the reason for your excessive phone use, changing the thought that you need your phone, and replacing the habit with other activities. Did you understand? If not, no problem. I can give you an example. If you're at home about to open your phone and waste time, stop and think, why am I doing this? It's probably because you're bored. But remember that your phone is not the only way to have fun. You could do other things to distract yourself, like walking, reading, or painting. This is a very highly recommended way to deal with the problem. I know it can be hard at first, but you'll get used to it, and it's better to try than to do nothing about it. Raise your hand if you feel that you normally waste a lot of time on your phone. Well, if that happens to you, don't worry, you're not alone. As I said before, this is a global problem. And if other people could change their lifestyle, you can too. So I invite you to start being aware of your screen time today. Remember that if you don't take care of yourself, probably no one else will. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Leonor, for your very, very interesting topic about screen use time. So now, our judges will deliberate to select our winner. So let's give them a couple of minutes to choose the best two presentations, and that will give us first and second place of the TED Talks this year. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this one works. Bit soft. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. Good. Fine. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, fine. Good. And this one too. Mientras el jurado decide, chicos, en español, recordar que cuando termine esto, primero que todo, gracias por la paciencia, por el retraso igual que tuvimos acá, pero recordar que cuando termine esto, todos tienen sus 10 minutos de recreo y después de los 10 minutos vuelven a clase, ¿ok? Así que consideren los tiempos ahí para que estén atentos a regresar a clases después de sus 10 minutos. Thank you. All right, so sit down, please, in silence. We are ready to announce our two places, first and second place. So, let's welcome to the stage Miss Fernanda Arriagada, Mr. Juan Molina, and Miss Patricia Osorio to share some.
Hello? Yeah? Good morning. Thank you. First of all, we want to give our congratulations to all students that participated in this TED Talk contest. So please, let's give them again a big round of applause. As the judges, we are very grateful to know that you students that participated today, you're showing big interest in the English language and oral communication skills. So we always want to encourage you to keep going in this path. And also we want to thank the Kingston College English Department for the invitation. TED Talks are not just about sharing information. They're also about expressing emotion and experiences to connect with more people. It's not just information dump, as young people say. And now we're going to announce the second and first places of this TED Talk contest.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a great morning and a great day. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to be here, and thank you for the invitation, the English department. Congratulations to you all for this great job that you are doing, and especially congratulations to all the students sitting here in front of us. Thank you for these great talks and for the topics that you are proposing and presenting today. I have the honor, yes, shall I? I have the honor and pleasure to announce the first place, and the Oscar goes to second place first. Let's stand and hold on for a few seconds, all right? Here, I think
this is working. So I have a great honor to mention the second place. But first, I would like to thank the whole community to be invited every year. So I have enjoyed lots of TED Talks and competitions that you have organized. So from Cambridge, from the British Institute, and also on behalf of all my colleagues at the Britannico, I have to congratulate the group participating today, and also thank you for the experience of assessing these talks that push me to continue learning about them. So I have chosen a couple of the topics to continue to go deep into details about them. So that is what I think that the main purpose of this, to encourage the whole audience and all your families and all your teachers to look for more information about these special and interesting topics. So thanks again, and the second place goes to Leonor Bello.
Good job, Leonor. Well done. You did amazing. Thank you for participating. Let's give another round of applause to Leonor, please. And the official photographs too. Well done. Okay, the messy one as well. Thank you, Leonor, so much. Well done, good job.
And now we get ready to announce the first place. And now the Oscar goes to I'm pleased to announce that the first place goes to Camilo Justi.
Very well done, Camilo. Official photographs as well for Camilo. Fantastic job in this year's TED Talk competition. And here goes another one. A big round of applause to our winner, Camilo Justi. Final photo. There we go. And also congratulations to all our contestants this year. Let's give them all a huge round of applause too, please. And Okay, and also we're going to give some prizes to our judges. Sir Alexis Alvial. And so thank you all for joining us today. And we will see you next year in a TED Talks 2026. So see you all next year. And you can go back to classes, and goodbye. Love you. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much. 10 minutes of break. Remember that. Thank you.